Let's do the first topic that we're going to discuss, and we're going to talk about it like kind of like in length, and it's a pretty like significant one. So Fatal Fury, on top of having like Cristiano Ronaldo, SNK was going to have like a huge presence at Tokyo Game Show, right? Which is like Japan's version of their E3, basically. They revealed this at their panel. Right? Ken Masters and Chun-Li are going to be making it into Street Fighter. Are going to be making it into Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Right? And just with more confirmation, they're going to be part of the Season 1 DLC. Ken is going to be coming out in the summer, and Chun is going to be coming out in the winter. Yeah, that legit fucking happened for Fatal Fury. We are getting Capcom representation in an SNK game. Let's talk about why this is like so significant, homies, right? So this came on, so that little trailer came on around, Yi in the morning, right? It came at like Japan time, which is what? The event started at like, 3 a.m. So in their time, it was kind of like at the night. So probably, let's just say for us, it was like 3 a.m. Oh boy, 3 a.m. We need like the Patrick like fucking eating a Krabby Patty at like 3 a.m. I'm gonna like edit that shit real soon. But yeah, Ken and Chun are going to be making it into Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, right? A game that like not only I, but a few others like in my friends group and many others, eSkater, a few others are definitely like looking forward to from them, And so why is this so important, right? Like what's the significance? And let's have like a discussion about them, right? So first off, the characters, right? Or just like the overall, it's like guest characters from other companies to SNK, right? Now if we're gonna think like the vice versa, right? SNK has been doing a fuck ton of collaborations in the past like 10 years after I think like KOF 14, right? They've been doing so many deals and partnerships just to like make their brand characters, recognizable and keep their franchises afloat, right? There were a lot of like prominent examples that, to name a few, like Geese in Tekken 7, right? That really got everybody jazzed and buzzed, evil old man versus evil blonde weeaboo old man. Then there was also Fighting EX Slayer. Terry was in Fighting EX Slayer, which is the ex Capcom whom did the Street Fighter EX series, the 3D Street Fighters. That's where you see like characters like Doctrine Dark, Sharon, so many like others, Kairi, Akira, Alan Snyder. I don't know if that game is, getting like more updates or got like any updates. We were supposed to get like, a big overhaul update on Fexel, but no information since then. I hope like Arika and Fexel are doing okay. Then SNK Heroines with like, their own game adding like, no, scratch that, SNK Heroines, no. Then we have like the big one, which was Terry Bogard was in Smash Brothers, right? All because of our Lord and Savior, Masahiro Sakurai, right? he willed Terry Bogard into existence, and now we have like a lot of like fighting game rep characters in Super Smash Brothers, right? Ryu, Ken, Kazuya, Terry Bogard, I think that's like 4, right? Yeah, just those 4, right? If you like make it into like Smash Brothers, you are instantly recognized in like the Hall of Fame. Although to be fair, right, SNK is a really like once again a lesser known company. So when Terry Bogard came out for for Super Smash Brothers, all of the Smashers and all of like the casuals that saw Terry were like, bro, I don't know who the fuck this is. I don't know who the fuck Mr. Terrell Bogardian really is. Terrell McBimbo, you know, he really is. He was just like this obscure guy that nobody knew of unless you're a fighting game fan, and all the casuals knew him as as buff Pokemon trainer, or guy with a trucker with a hat. I had to listen to all these like new gen people back like when I was still at college. Listening to that, I'm like, yo, these young kids are super fucking stupid. To be fair, again, SNK is obscure, right? They weren't in the spotlight until, let's say, like King of Fighters 15. So they were relatively like niche in comparatively speaking to like Capcom, who are much more brand recognizable, right? But now SNK has been super over the top with like, you know, KOF 15, getting fans, not just old school fans, but also casuals coming into the mix because, you know, of their recent like games, Samurai Showdown, KOF 15, and now Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. Now SNK is like, you know, getting all those mad stacks of cash by just, you know, well, hard work, dedication of polishing their game, you know, up to like Fatal Fury. And now everybody's like a big like SNK fan, you know? And now we have Terry in Street Fighter 6, right? In Street Fighter, a game that has little to none guest character representation, right? The closest guests that like you can possibly have are like rival schools characters, because Street Fighter and rival schools technically share like the same universe, so it's within Capcom, so that technically counts as like guests, but it's still within the Capcom umbrella. A guest would be like someone like Cristiano Ronaldo in Fatal Fury, an obscure fucking guest, right? Not even from like a game company or everything. Maybe like FIFA is a game, you know? But just having Ronaldo in Fatal Fury already sparks like, yo, what? Portuguese football Hall of Famer is going to be in Fatal Fury? Damn, bro. Damn. And so SNK being on like in the top, and now it's like Fatal Fury, they're adding like now they're adding their own guest characters, right? Street Fighter has Terry and Mai. Now Fatal Fury is going to have Ken and Chun in the game. Two characters. Now let's talk about like the characters, right? Ken Masters, first of all. So they chose Ken over the most stereotypical obvious pick, that is, you know, Ryu, right? Ryu, albeit, you know, Ryu looks good, he's aged up, he's super well defined in Street Fighter 6, but that's not the issue of what I'm like saying here, homies. It's that, why Ken over Ryu? Ken being like a perfect inclusion in Street Fighter Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, because when you think about like typical like stereotypical characters, you think of like Ryu. Ryu is always been in like everywhere. He's even like on my screen, right? He's even on my screen. Look at Ryu over here, like dapping with Cyclops over here, right? He's the most basic like white stale piece of like white bread character, but he is the icon of Street Fighter. That's how he is, you know? Everywhere. If you really like think about it, he is the face of Street Fighter, right? Bro, he made it into Fortnite. Him and Chun-Li are in like Fortnite because they're the faces of Street Fighter. They're the faces of Capcom alongside many other faces of Capcom, but they're the most brand recognizable characters there is, you know? I'm not saying there's nothing bad for them, but Ryu has been almost everywhere he is, even though his, you know, character... What does Ryu like do, right? He is just... What is Ryu's like character? He is like a karate student under the tutelage of Gouken in the Street Fighter lore. Is best friends with Ken. They both learn the what was it? The Hadoken, the Shoryuken, the Tatsumaki Senpukyak, right? Typical like Shoto-esque moves, right? That they both learned from Gouken until Gouken was killed by Akuma, and Akuma saw some potential in Ryu because Ryu has some hidden like Satsui no Hado nature, which is like the evil way of like life or some shit. And so Ryu has always been like in struggle with the Satsui no Hado and trying to like fight off Akuma. So he always goes on like solitude trips, finding like the strongest warrior there is. The answer lies in the heart of battle. Like, that's just like his character, right? Like, that's how he is. And it gets a little bit repetitive and boring. Ryu has almost been like in almost everywhere. He's in Fortnite, he's in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, he's in Smash Brothers, right? Dude's been around the block. He's a real world warrior. You know who doesn't get a lot of love? Ken, right? Ken is like only in Super Smash Brothers, and I don't think in anything else. Outside of like maybe Marvel vs. Capcom, but that's Marvel vs. Capcom. But dude, Ken doesn't get like a lot of limelight than Ryu does. But so it makes sense because, you know, Street Fighter 6 launched Ken, and with Street Fighter 6, everybody has been aged up, especially like Ryu and Ken. Ryu now much more older, and he has mastered the way of the Hado, and is now like a sensei. He's not your typical karate boy anymore with the karate gi. He's now a sensei with a beard, facial, and shit like that, right? He's aged up. And you know who also aged up? Ken. Ken is also aged up, but the most bastard fucking move that they did on Ken is that they took away his wife and kids. He's now a hobo. He's on the hunt by some evil organization that did him dirty and is vowing to like fight back or like staying low until it's time to shine, you know? So yeah, like Ken got a drastic rechange, and a lot of people like Ken now. People are now masters with Ken in Street Fighter 6. So character-wise, it's much more appealing to have Ken than, let's say, Ryu. And not only that, just also gameplay, right? The way of how Fatal Fury like works, right? With all of like the rev cancels and things like that, they look fucking fantastic to be able to do like, you know, special after like special. And they're the most like innovative, it's the most innovative like thing you can find in a SNK game. Like, it's hella crazy. And vice versa, drive system is really good with just being able to like, you know, think of like a multitude of ways to, you know, approach like not just like in combos, but approach neutral. Drive rush is or drive like system is a really like sophisticated mechanic, and I really love it, you know? So both are like really like similar, right? Just one's more like drive, one's more spending, and the other's more like if you use too much, be careful if you use too much. Both have like similar principles. And Ken just works well, right? You see all the swag stuff that Ken's can do in Street Fighter 6. Oh my god, it's cool, man. Doing like Jinrai loops or Dragon Lash loops, Shoryuken loops, doing like full screen corner to corner Tatsu carries, dude, Ken is fucking awesome. He's been fucking scrubbed, right? Because everyone wants to be a Ken player. But dude, Ken is fucking awesome. Even I got to admit. And I play weird characters like Jamie and shit, right? I play fucking like Rashid and Marissa. But you can't deny that like Ken doing Ken shit in Street Fighter 6 is awesome. Is fucking awesome. Right, so one character, two gameplay, I can see Ken totally jiving well with Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. And of course, you know, Chun-Li. What can I say about Chun-Li, right? Chun-Li, everybody's favorite waifu character, right? The girl with the big ass thighs and the big ass butt. Your very waifu character, you know? The girl boss. Everybody's fucking Instagram like thirst trap cosplay is like mostly like Chun-Li, right? If it's like a video game character, right? She's definitely popular. Like Ryu, she's also been in Fortnite. She's also been in Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. She's been in multiple Marvel vs. Capcom games, right? She's just that iconic of a character, right? The fucking waifu character, the girl that a lot of people are gonna be, you know, wanking it to, you know, shit like that, right? So, yeah, the inclusion makes sense, right? And it's gonna sell Fatal Fury like buckets, right? Just to have like guest characters in Fatal Fury and just imagining of like what those two characters will do specifically in Fatal Fury. Oh my god, dude. I can't wait. I can't wait to see how much they'll rev it up and just blow our expectations. Now, as for like the significance, right? Outside of just the character inclusion, bro, we're inching closer and closer to CVS 3. We are a few steps away from getting Capcom versus SNK 3, because this is like 2 times that Capcom and SNK have been like buddy-buddy with each other. 1 or 3 times. One was Street Fighter with Terry and Mai, which Terry is already out, and Mai is going to be scheduled for the winter, I think, which Elena is going to be like in the spring of next year. But there's also Capcom Fighting Collection with CVS 1 and CVS 2 coming next year. And then finally Fatal Fury having Street Fighter characters. So there's a lot of these like stars that are very much aligning to a potential prophecy that it's not a matter of if anymore. It's a matter of when will Capcom versus SNK finally go down. When the eventual trailer at like, let's say, a Game Awards, not this year, but maybe next year, when Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, and you see the company Capcom and SNK show up, and they say Capcom versus SNK match of the millennium. People would vomit, right? Much like a potential Marvel vs. Capcom 4. That's also like, it's not a matter of if anymore, because now Marvel and Capcom are buddy-buddy. And the devs, even at like at Capcom, are open to the idea of a new Marvel vs. Capcom, as well as Marvel. It's not a matter of when anymore. It's not a matter of if anymore. Sorry, it's not a matter of if anymore, it's a matter of when. When are you gonna see Marvel vs. Capcom 4? You know? So I really am believing now. I'm a firm, solid believer that yeah, Capcom versus SNK is like in the works. There's gonna be board meetings and discussions, you know, of like if there's gonna be an agreement, which obviously there are, since, you know, a lot of these like, you know, Phoenix Wright evidences show up of the 3 titles that I've said. Yeah, it's just like a lot of these like breadcrumbs, which will eventually lead to the eventuality that is Capcom versus SNK. You know, there's gonna be like new horizons for Capcom. Capcom is coming back more than ever, man. You know, we got like Street Fighter doing obviously super well. Now it's like guest character inclusion. We got Monster Hunter Wilds coming at around February, so that's really good. That's gonna boost Capcom's sales numbers. And vice versa for SNK. A lot of people are really liking Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, and there's going to be new updates for KOF 15, right? With Vice and Mature, I think they showed off like the models or some first preliminary sketches of the 2 characters. And SNK is going to be making a new Art of Fighting and a Samurai Showdown RPG. So SNK is definitely coming back, and they got a lot more money now because, you know, of the partnerships that they've been with. And so yeah, it's just like the future is bright, right? The future is bright, and I'm all up for it, man. It's like the Titans are really like coming back from the old school 90s and early 2000s. They are coming back stronger than ever. Of course, Tekken is also there. Tekken is also a Titan, but Tekken has always like been there ever since, like, you know, Tekken 3. They have like their ups and downs, but everybody's a big like Tekken fan. There's a huge number of Tekken players in Tekken 8. And of course, Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat. Albeit, you know, it has its downs, but people still play Mortal Kombat casually. So yeah, I say that's like the significance and importance of Fatal Fury and Street Fighter, right? Shit, man, we're living in like in the golden era though. It's so goddamn sick.